This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. Prepared by Diane Tavenner. Diane Tavenner embarked on an audacious journey, bringing about a revolutionary change in the education system as we know it. What would happen if the future leaders of our world were denied access to education of high quality? What are the consequences of sending children who are ill-prepared into the vast world that is waiting for their leadership? It's a terrifying prospect that we earnestly hope we never have to face. The mission of adequately preparing students for the future surpasses merely having them sit obediently in front of a teacher or insisting they take short 30-minute breaks. Each child possesses unique qualities, and the persistent application of the same teaching methods in the hopes of achieving a different outcome is as futile as attempting to erode a rock by pouring water over it. The children of today are destined to be the leaders of tomorrow, as quoted by Nelson Mandela. Diane Tavenner. With the wisdom gained from her years of experience as a teacher, vice principal, and mother, Diane Tavenner established a school that dares to be different, that challenges both children and parents to break away from the norm. The skills required to equip the workforce of the 21st century greatly differ from those taught during our grandparents' youthful days. Every child possesses the potential for success, and if we all collectively refuse to settle for the dated structures of the educational system that have persisted for far too long, we can provide tangible proof of this. The ensuing chapters will elucidate how students can lead enriched lives through self-directed learning, introspection, and cooperation with others. Did you know? According to an analysis of 750 occupations by the McKinsey Global Institute, more than half of the job activities, 51%, are highly vulnerable to automation. Summit School was born out of a dream. Diane Tavenner's aspiration was to create a superior learning environment for every child. The inaugural Summit Preparatory High School class graduated in 2007, marking a departure from the traditional graduation ceremonies of other schools. Each graduate entered the hall accompanied by their mentor groups of students guided by a teacher who assisted them with any issues they faced during their time at the school, and a parent or relative who had been instrumental in their journey. The 4-year journey was far from smooth, especially for children who had to overcome various difficulties before their arrival at Summit School. Summit School's vision has always been and remains to prepare each child for a fulfilled life. This mission can only be achieved with the full backing of the parents. The blame game is all too common. Parents blame the school, who in turn blames the government. This vicious cycle continues unabated, while the world keeps evolving, with employers increasingly seeking individuals with innovative and critical thinking skills. Students can only be fully equipped for life when the government, school, and parents unite to create a more conducive environment for learning. Diane Tavenner often reflected on how much people's lives could be improved with better education, an education whose quality did not depend on a fancy environment, but one that was grounded in the student's motivation to learn. Luckily, this was also a concern for Chris Buja, who, in an attempt to find a solution to the high dropout rates before college, met with Diane Tavenner. Together, they conceived the idea of establishing a public school where every student would have the opportunity to attend a 4-year college. Students will eventually have to confront the harsh realities of the world. It is critical that they are adequately prepared for this inevitable encounter. Upon closely observing a local high school, Diane Tavenner noticed that students found lectures monotonous and only studied their notes with the sole aim of passing their exams. This unfortunate scenario is the reality in many schools, where the conventional, overused teaching methods result in disinterested students who are unproductive. Teachers who manage to make learning an engaging and captivating experience tend to witness higher success rates than those who merely recite from recommended texts. This stark contrast in teaching methodology is the reason students have unique learning experiences. At Summit schools, learning is project-based. This approach focuses on real-world projects designed to address a specific problem relevant to the community. This innovative method of learning dispenses with monotonous routines and encourages critical thinking, strategic planning, and constant feedback. For their final year project, Summit School seniors undertake a project dubbed Sim City. This endeavor challenges them to create a sustainable city within a span of 2 months. They choose their area of focus based on their interests and goals, allowing them to explore their strengths. Research indicates that students retain knowledge longer and understand more when they partake in hands-on projects. However, implementing project-based learning is not devoid of its challenges. It can be time-consuming, difficult, and even costly. The required materials might not be readily available, and parents might be apprehensive about deviating from the traditional path with their children. Nevertheless, it is an exhilarating sight to behold a child who previously lacked critical thinking skills begin to solve real-world problems. Many students who follow the routine form of learning are rarely pushed to strive for self-improvement. Children are endowed with unique minds that will only grow with the experience gained from both failures and successes. Many schools evaluate a student's knowledge based on their grades in various subjects. However, this system can be monotonous and leave students ill-prepared for life's challenges. A student's abilities extend beyond what their grades reflect, and persistently judging them based on this narrow criterion could be detrimental to their learning. The book Drive, authored by Daniel Pink, advocates for learning driven by mastery, autonomy, and purpose. This translates to self-directed learning. With deliberate practice and feedback, students can control what and how they learn. Summit School ensures that students exercise their autonomy in learning by allowing them to freely make decisions, adapt their preferred seating arrangement in class, while teachers are on hand to guide them through these choices. Students are also encouraged to hone their ability to undertake more challenging tasks, respond resiliently to setbacks, and set goals they are passionate about. Children possess independent minds. Encouraging them to make their own decisions fosters their personal growth. Often, children do not succeed at their first attempt. They can easily get distracted, but it is through these occasional failures that they learn and improve. However, no parent wishes to see their child fail, even if it is an occasional occurrence. As a result, parents often intervene in the learning process to offer assistance. This interference doesn't always yield positive results, because for a child to navigate the real world effectively, they need to experience the failure that accompanies real-life situations. Failure is an inevitable part of life. Therefore, students should be taught to learn and grow from it. As long as a failure does not shut the door on future opportunities and facilitates learning, it is beneficial. Sometimes the best course of action is to resist the instinct to intervene and control everything, and instead allow them to learn from their failures. Learning can become tedious when students are repeatedly made to do the same tasks. A child's willingness to undertake a task increases with their understanding of its significance. Schools rarely cultivate a system that encourages students to establish meaningful relationships with adults. However, this is a key feature of Summit School. Here, each child belongs to a mentor group led by a mentor, an experienced, trusted guide who forms an individual relationship with each mentee. Summit School promotes quality relationships between students and teachers, and among students in their mentee groups to foster knowledge exchange. When we enable kids to indulge their curiosities and interests, they immerse themselves in learning. Consequently, they acquire more knowledge and become adept at learning, creating a positive cycle. Diane Tavenner. Diane Tavenner. However, Being a part of a mentor group does not guarantee that a student will always make the right decisions, as teenagers often resist being told what to do. But one effective strategy to guide them towards making the right choices is by prompting them to reflect on their actions by asking them probing questions. This approach encourages them to understand the rationale behind an action rather than blindly following the crowd. This mentor role is as essential for parents as it is for teachers. Both parties play key roles in this endeavor and must join forces to support the student. Mentoring achieves optimal results when parents and teachers collaborate to facilitate students' learning. Teamwork is an essential component in achieving superior results. Summit School envisions every student gaining admission into a college. To attain this goal, a culture of collaboration must be cultivated. This encourages everyone to contribute towards each other's success. In a world where we are trained to be competitive, effective demonstration of core skills can only be achieved through teamwork. Life comprises a series of competitive events. However, one essential attribute necessary for teamwork is cooperation. Everyone appreciates a team player. A prime example of this principle in action is the Summit team, who managed to collaborate effectively despite their differing opinions. In the early stages, when the rules weren't established, the team underwent a forming process. As the team gained strength and tackled challenging issues, they transitioned to the storming stage. When the rules were being established, the process moved on to norming, and the final stage, when everyone could work seamlessly as a team, was the performing stage. Every team undergoes these stages to achieve a common goal. Although collaboration is essential, it does not always work, particularly when the assigned task is either too simplistic to warrant the team's attention or too complex for unsupervised team members. Regardless, teamwork is a skill that all students should possess. Collaborative efforts may prove challenging if a task is either too simplistic or too complex. Students learn more quickly when they are allowed to explore their areas of interest. In 2012, Summit School decided to allow students to choose their preferred subject of learning. This led to an improvement in students' grades, as they were studying topics they were genuinely interested in. One effective strategy to develop a child's interest is to expose them to a variety of experiences, while encouraging them to explore these interests by participating in related activities. Students develop an interest in diverse areas when they are exposed to them and are given the freedom to explore these areas. Enabling them to participate in these activities offers them a broad range of options and enhances their learning experience. Over time, this strategy, coupled with guidance from teachers and peers, as well as monitored usage of the internet, makes the learning process more enjoyable. This eliminates the need for rote learning of information that will likely be forgotten later. The combination of the internet, peers, and exposure to a wide array of activities provides a comprehensive learning experience for students. At times, the roles are reversed and you become the student, learning new things from them. This should not be discouraging or cause for unhappiness because you can't control them. Instead, encourage them to continue learning, as this demonstrates that you are doing an excellent job and they are well equipped to adapt to life's changes. The secret to helping a child learn better is to operate from the background, resisting the urge to take over from them. Having set the objective of ensuring every child that passes through Summit School completes college, it became a challenging task to accept when a student couldn't, for whatever reason. And the instinct to assist them only compounded the issue. Students have diverse aspirations, but focusing on a universal skill set simplifies the process. These universal skills are applicable to all aspects of life and can be taught in a broad way. This naturally aids children in preparing for the future and all it brings. There are certain skills that transcend sectors and boundaries. These are universal skills, and every student should be taught these skills. Occasionally, it is necessary to nudge your students towards certain life decisions. Attending college is one such decision. It should not be based on someone else's experience, but because it aligns perfectly with their dreams. Every decision a student makes should not be dictated by anyone else, but should align with what is best for them. It is not an insurmountable task to devise a solid plan that assists a student in making critical decisions, such as selecting a college. By helping students explore potential life paths linked to their purpose, mapping out various options, building a network of trusted advisors, facilitating their initial steps, and committing to the chosen path based on values and priorities, you are equipping them for the real world. Preparing a student for the world entails allowing them to explore their chosen paths and assisting them from the sidelines. Although it may seem daunting, the more confident you are in allowing them to take charge of certain aspects of their lives, the more beneficial it is for everyone involved. Our communities require adults who, when confronted with complex moral dilemmas, possess the decision-making skills to consider both sides, apply diverse types of reasoning, and challenge assumptions. Diane Tavenner. Diane Tavenner. Raising a child in any culture is a daunting task, ridden with numerous mistakes. Your instinct to be overprotective can inhibit your children from making the bold strides necessary for them to stand out and acquire new knowledge. Avoid falling into this trap, as it only serves as a disservice to you and your children. Encourage them to be independent and make decisions on their own. If they fail, they will learn valuable lessons from the experience. In order to nurture a generation of individuals who approach life with clear objectives, they need to be taught crucial life skills as they grow up. This is made feasible with the innovative curriculum that Summit School has ingeniously designed. The new educational system is designed to prepare children for the future, taking into consideration the stringent demands of the future workplace. Skills that render employees competent for the job description are being cultivated from early on. These include the ability to work quickly and for extended periods. Such skills facilitate problem-solving and task completion in record time. Another highly sought-after skill is emotional intelligence. This is a prerequisite in the 21st century workplace and may be challenging to incorporate with technologies based on artificial intelligence. Emotional intelligence enables members of working groups to interact empathetically with others while maintaining focus on the team's objectives. Some other vital skills include a good memory for directions and details, critical and innovative thinking, teamwork, and coordination. With all the concerted effort that Diane Tavenner and her team have invested in revolutionizing education, the issue of young people being ill-prepared to handle life's challenges has found a sustainable solution. Do this. Consider creating schedules for your children. This could involve preparing dinner, walking the family pet, or any unique activity that is particular to your family. Encourage them to plan and execute the task under your supervision.